Hello and welcome to the PixelPlayer podcast featuring myself, George, or at Fevanova NFT on Twitter.
Sento or at Ratpinat on Twitter.
Sam or at Skipper on Twitter.
And you're joining us here for the second instalment of our recently fledged podcast on a Sunday evening, currently nearly 8:30, and we've got the Madrid derby unfolding as we speak, currently 0-0. Lots to talk about this week, chaps. How have you been?
Fantastic weekend of football. It's back.
Well, yeah, football is back. It's been pretty rough for me. Throughout my holidays, I had a little accident on my knee. It was such a stupid thing. I was just climbing like a little wall, pretty much the size of like a double step, like the height of a double step. And yeah, bam, cruciate, ACL out, bye-bye, baby. Have to reconstruct it completely. And the meniscus is also pretty bad. Gonna get surgery in a week and a half. I'm pretty nervous, to be honest. But apart from that, pretty good, I'd say.
That's a season ender, isn't it?
I was going to say, out for the rest of the season.
Literally.
Damn.
Have you ever had surgery, Skipper?
Me? Oh.
I know. I've never had surgery.
No, neither have I. So none of us here can offer Sento any sort of comforting words during this moment. Nah, it's just routine stuff. It'll be fine.
I've never been on the receiving end of a 2-footer.
No. Sento got double-footed by, I don't know, Eva Benega, someone like that.
The only thing that comes to mind, George, is when we were in primary school, not being on the receiving end of the double footer, but being the double footer and dunking someone's leg.
Yeah, I do. Was it their ankle? I believe.
I'm not too sure. I just remember the ambulance coming and I had to go home for dinner.
Yeah, I do remember. These things happen.
10 years old.
It's never too young for a double foot, to be fair. Right, well, we're going to sort of start with Friday's action, I guess. We've got a few things to talk about this episode. We've got an exciting game coming up, actually. So that we'll get into that after we've caught up with the weekend's football. Ballbusters, that one's called. Sento's excited for that.
Oh yes, I'm actually pretty nervous. You guys don't want to tell me what it is. I have no idea what it is. I'm actually pretty nervous.
We want the imagination to run wild for a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Keep the suspense.
Yeah, I was gonna keep the intention.
Keep them guessing. Well, Friday night we had an early start to this weekend football-wise on Friday night. 2 games in the Premier League, and was it just the one game in the Liga, Sento? I think it was, wasn't it?
What do you mean? Only one game was played
in the league? Yeah. No, on Friday night in the Liga.
Oh, on Friday night. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Friday nights is always one game, same as Sundays. Sundays? No, sorry. Mondays.
Yeah, actually, good point. We only ever have one on a Monday, but I don't know if I can remember 2 on a Friday, but we actually had 2 on a Friday this weekend. I mean, I wouldn't say the Aston Villa one was anything to sort of give note, but I think they did win 1-0. So, Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard getting an important 3 points. Southampton, they can beat Chelsea one week, and the other week they're losing to Aston Villa, who are struggling. So, but we'll leave that one there. I mean, that one, not much happened. Important 3 points for Villa. But the other game was Nottingham Forest, Fulham. Watch any of it, Sam?
None of it.
No.
Nottingham Forest haven't got off to the greatest start, have they?
No, awful. But they won the transfer market, didn't they?
They did win the transfer market. They did quite well.
I still have faith in them, to be honest. I have faith in them. They did a lot of interesting signings, a lot of interesting movements this past market. I think around £150 million they've spent on this transfer market.
238 million.
238?
Yeah, they went crazy. You probably checked that,
what is that
statistic with a week to go. And in the last week of the market, they went absolutely berserk.
Yeah, that must have been it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Is the return that gets me. You know, they've got to do very well in the Premier League to get that sort of, or to recoup that money. If they go back down after spending that,
But I mean,
in trouble.
there's two strategies, right? Like when you go out to the Premier League, you can either try and survive with what you have, which is usually what like Norwich does and stuff like that, or you can actually spend a lot of money and bet for you to stay in the Premier League, like Aston Villa did. Now it's like well established in the Premier League. Fulham tried it, although it didn't went well. But I mean, you know, the thing is that if it doesn't go well, it's a bit crash.
Yeah.
But a $250 million is a
significant
investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not only that, you've obviously got the wages to keep them going. You know, you want to attract a big player, you've got to spend big money on their wages. I don't know.
That's when they crash, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like they get big names, big players, big wages, and if they go back to second like championship, well, they cannot pay it anymore. Yeah. That's when they're in trouble.
So I mean, when I was watching them play Tottenham, obviously Tottenham had a win, but they didn't look like a bad squad. They didn't look like a bad team. They didn't look like they were playing horrifically. But it's those types of games that they need to try and get results on. They need to try and beat the likes of Fulham
at home on a Friday night as well. You'd think the fans would have been up for that as well, which they probably, it sounds like they were. I mean, I watched the highlights, but good game by Fulham. Really,
it should have been. It should have been one of those games that you must win against a side less Fulham, like Fulham. Maybe it's because they aren't both of them just got into Premier League this season, right?
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, in the contrast, Fulham are doing brilliant.
Yeah.
Currently sixth.
Yeah, Fulham looks stable to me. Marco Silva's doing a good job, I think. I mean, like I said, Friday night for them was a great result. Going 1-0 down against Nottingham Forest away from home, to come back and win 3-2, they'll be delighted with that, I think. So, for Nottingham Forest, you're probably saying a relegation battle is on the horizon.
And Fulham look the best club in West London at the moment.
Well, the only club in West London to be playing, so she likes. So that sort of moves on to Saturday. Well, actually, what happened in the Liga then, Sento? Friday night, Valladolid lost 1-0 to Cadiz.
Valladolid, to Cadiz. Well, it's a game that you wouldn't say it's very interesting at first, but both of them were in the relegation zone. Cadiz hasn't won or drawn a game up until now. This is the first win, so the first 3 points of the season for them. So I mean, I think it was a pretty interesting game. Like both of them were really fighting to like get out of that zone. If Valladolid won, they got out. If Cadiz won, well, at least it was the first points of the season, right? Well, like 3 points, like gets it going.
Proper Friday night scrap.
But and it was a Negredo goal.
Alvaro Negredo.
Alvaro Negredo. You guys know about him too.
Yeah.
In the 90+2.
Wow.
So it was a close match. Probably I couldn't watch it myself, but close match definitely.
Yeah. Well, quite a busy Friday night on those two fronts. Then I enjoyed it. I enjoyed sort of waking up Saturday knowing that we'd already sort of started on the weekend's football. Although my team Chelsea weren't playing, still plenty of stuff going on. Saturday in the Premier League, early kickoff, Wolves Man City. Now I was saying, if this is an evening kickoff, maybe even I was going to say Monday night, but maybe a Saturday evening or something, or a Sunday afternoon. The Wolves, I feel like I'd fancy Wolves, but for some reason, an early kickoff on a Saturday, Man City, I think it was a recipe for disaster for Wolves, and it turned out to be that. Jack Grealish scored within 60 seconds. Haaland scored again. Phil Foden tapped in the third. De Bruyne added two more assists to his record. Any words, Sam?
I mean, I think they could have played at any time on any day, and City would still.
Yeah.
They're just in phenomenal form. Haaland again. They scored. Didn't Man City score in the first minute?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Jack Grealish, yeah.
Ridiculous. I mean, a recipe for disaster, like you say. I mean, you're not coming back against an in-form Man City. 3-0. Could Wolves have scored a goal?
I mean, Wolves played well, but they lacked the final ball. I think there was a couple of times they could have beaten Man City's press, but they just lacked that final ball. They either put too much power on the pass, or or whatever.
I wanna ask a little question about this. Did you guys watch it?
I saw the highlights.
Yeah, I saw the highlights.
Yeah. Did Geddes play at all?
Yes.
I'm very intrigued by that.
Yeah,
so
he did.
How is it going? How is he doing?
He had a chance to score actually, but he put it wide. I think. I remember he put it left of the goal. But it was a good. He's got good movement. He's one of those players that seems to be like he's always on the move.
For me, at least when he was at Valencia, he's a really top team. Level
I think he looks
player.
quite good.
At least in terms of like skills and talent. The only thing that I think draws him back a little bit is his head, his mentality. I don't know. He gets frustrated very easily, and that really impacts on his gameplay.
How old is he?
Quite young, isn't he? 24,
I think.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
So he's pretty young too.
Yeah.
He's really talented, really talented. He has definitely skills for like a Chelsea or a Spurs or something.
Yeah. Well, I think he'll settle in well at Wolves. Wolves have a knack of buying a load of players from sort of Portugal, Spain, so they all seem to sort of settle in quite nicely. But I don't know if anyone's seen. There's a video going around of Haaland during build-up play. The ball's sort of being played around by Foden and De Bruyne, I think, and he's obviously looking to get into the box, and he's running to get into the box, and there's a Wolves player running alongside him trying to mark him. And someone's filmed him, and he's not even looking at the ball. He's basically wrestling with this Wolves player, pushing him and stuff. What an animal! What an animal!
He knows where he wants to be, and it's always the right place.
Yeah,
well, 9 times out of 10. The one I saw, I'm not sure if it was the same one, but it was just he put his head down, sprinted towards the box, and was hoping that De Bruyne was going to put the ball on a plate.
Yeah,
he put the ball on a plate. It was wrestling with him. He one-on-one with the keeper, should have scored really, but
I remember.
But it's it's getting in those positions. If you get in those positions 5 times a game, you're gonna bang one in with the talent that he's got.
He's one of those strikers that looks like goals are literally his oxygen, isn't it? Like he's busting a gut just for a sniff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
very clinical. Very clinical.
Yeah, unfazed. He's unfazed by. He'll miss a sitter, and then it just doesn't get to him. Whereas to a player like Timo Werner, who I watched a lot of obviously the last few years, he missed one, and you think like it's never going to come for him. It's never going to happen. But with Haaland, he'll miss one, and you're like, well, next one will go in. Well, the next one will go in.
Yeah. It's crazy how you can look at two different players, 2 different events, and either think a goal's coming or it's not their day to day.
Yeah.
And with Haaland, it's coming. And with Man City, it's coming.
Yeah.
And Haaland's always in the right places.
Yeah, literally.
Scary. They're a very good team.
I'm worried. I mean, we haven't played them yet. Spurs were due to play them, weren't they?
I'm very lucky.
I mean, who knows when them games are going to get sort of moved to from the Queen's sort of the initial first weekend she passed. They got postponed. The funeral's tomorrow. So this weekend, Chelsea didn't play. Man United didn't play. Leeds didn't play. Brighton didn't play. Crystal Palace didn't play. Liverpool didn't play. But Chelsea did actually host a behind closed doors friendly with Brighton at the Amex Stadium in Brighton. So sort of a close relationship sort of building there between the two clubs.
Bit weird.
Yeah. Carney Chukwuemeka. Sorry, that is such a hard name to say. But yeah, Carney Chukwuemeka scored Chelsea's 2 goals as they won 2-1. Apparently Armando Broja played, Trevor Chalobah played, Zakaria played. Chelsea did play this weekend, but we didn't get to see that. Wasn't competitive. It was just sort of, I guess, to keep the players ticking over, give Graham a chance, and Brighton a chance as well. Actually, Brighton are almost in a similar position where they need to get sort of minutes on the field, moving forward and stuff as well. So that happened behind closed doors. We also had Newcastle drawing 1-1 with Bournemouth. Alexander Isak again scoring. He actually equalised this time though, so it was a last sort of 10-minute, I think, penalty for Newcastle. So Eddie Howe faced his old club in Bournemouth, who did take the lead under their caretaker manager, who is looking to impress as Bournemouth enter a phase of ownership transition as they're being purchased by an American consortium at the moment, which is another American-owned club in the Premier League, or they will be in the not-so-distant future anyway. So there we go there. Tottenham 6-2 was the evening kickoff. So Leicester took the lead early on through a Tillemans penalty, but Harry Kane responded moments later. Benton Kurv's first goal, Son off the bench to end his goal-scoring drought with a hat-trick. The scoreline flattering Spurs, Sam?
Well, the scoreline was flattering, but I mean, Son Heung-min takes the headlines, right? I mean, He comes off the bench after a goal drought, scores a beautiful hat-trick. And I think every man and his dog's happy for him, apart from maybe Arsenal fans. I mean, it was a good game. It was an enjoyable game. I mean, it was 2-2 at half time, and a comfortable win in the end, but an enjoyable game and tense at times. Yuri Tillemans penalty. It was a stonewall penalty, no problem with that. First one taken, saved by Lloris. It was a couple of centimeters off the line, so he had to be retaken. A little bit annoying, but I guess that's what VAR's back for, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, sometimes I feel like they're given, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
Same with players encroaching as well. If the players are running,
they're the ones. Sometimes they do. Like you said, they pick up on it. Sometimes it's blaringly obvious, and they'll just ignore it. So
I guess they only pick up on it when they miss as well, and it doesn't happen that often. To be fair, a penalty gets missed and something else happening, but it's just like it's almost like, oh, he saved it, brilliant.
Yeah,
but this happens. Like the other end of the hour.
The next game for Tottenham now is the big one. Hang on, Sento. Just finish on Spurs for the North London derby in a week and a half, I think, is it?
Can't wait. I mean, it's going to be Kulusevski, Son, Kane up front. We bring on Richarlison after 60 minutes.
Are you confident then?
I'm enjoying it, yeah. I'm confident.
It's at the Emirates, though. Still confident?
It's at the Emirates. Doesn't matter. It's at Tottenham's home, North London.
Early kickoff as well on a Saturday. 12:30. So potential for one set of supporters' weekend to be ruined within hours of waking up, pretty much, isn't it?
But I mean, Tottenham have a chance to leapfrog Arsenal, don't they?
Yeah.
Arsenal have a chance to escape.
It's a big game, isn't it? Big game with Arsenal sitting on top of the league as well.
It's a big game. It's an exciting game.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm looking forward to that, and obviously we'll get to tuck into that one, and then day after we got the Manchester derby. So big weekend. So Sento, what were you going to say?
Sorry, I thought you were going to move to the next fixture. I was just going to say a little something that I didn't know about the Newcastle and Bournemouth that I learned before is that this is actually the fifth draw, like consecutive draw for Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They haven't won any of the past 6 games. Lost 1.
Yes, lost
drawn
1. Yeah.
5, and I think they won 1. That's it. That's a big hit. They have done a big investment.
So they only won 1 game this season.
Yeah.
But I think maybe it's been taken out of context. Like, who have they played? They've played Man City, and they've got a draw there, so that's a good result.
So they won their first game of the season against Nottingham Forest. They drew against Brighton. They drew against Man City. They drew against Wolves. They lost against Liverpool. They drew against Crystal Palace, and they drew against Bournemouth.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great.
I mean, coming off of Brighton and Man City, you think they should be knocking some wins together.
And the aspirations that they should have. Well, they do have. They've got some great players, Newcastle, now.
They should. They should be quite happy with this change of management and everything too. Like, come on, good things are gonna come their way, surely. Unless they get a Pirelli.
Maybe Newcastle should have got Graham Potter instead of Eddie Howe.
Well, who knows? I mean, they're the two sort of token English managers at the moment, aren't they? Eddie Howe and Graham Potter.
And one of them has to take the England job. After Southgate. I mean, after this World Cup, Southgate has to.
I mean, unless we win it.
Unless we win it, yeah. We win it, but we get home.
Well, on Saturday.
No, second two if you win it.
no. He'll definitely get the next Euros. And if it went drastically wrong, maybe you go. But nah, he's not.
That's what it gets you over there. Winning a World Cup, it gets you at least one more Euros.
He'll get a statue in London. He'll get he'll get a Southgate Square with a big statue in the middle of it.
Oh.
And the world will be united.
It's actually true.
The UK will be united. England will be united.
So Saturday in the Liga, Barcelona, Elche. Did we expect anything different?
Yeah, they played at the Spotify Camp Nou. I'm sorry, fans, but every single time I say I like it more. Jesus. I wish that doesn't happen with Nestaya, to be honest. But well. Yeah, they won. Elche got an early red card with a pretty dangerous foul to Lewandowski. Well, I mean, it wasn't dangerous. I mean, dangerous in the game itself. Like Lewandowski had a really clear opportunity to score a goal, and he literally falling on purpose, obviously. Straight red, no questions about that. And yeah, since then, well, Barcelona just did whatever they wanted, right? Like they just moved the ball. Like Xavi is really, really knowing how to put this team together and go beyond all these economical crises that we're going through, right? Yeah. I guess that was pretty much in the minds of all the Barca fans, this market.
Yeah.
But I guess Xavi gave them a little bit of hope.
Depay scored?
Depay scored, yeah.
Lewandowski's on fire as well, isn't he?
Lewandowski, he had a great beginning. Let me tell you how many goals does he have right now.
I think he's got. I don't
know, 8 goals. So
8 goals.
8 goals. And bear in mind that we've played less games in La Liga than Premier League up until now. This is the 6th week, so this is the 6th game for them.
Wow. He just scores every time. I mean, his last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. His last 10 games. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I mean, he's on fire. I mean, that's what would you expect from Lewandowski? Like, come on, one of the best strikers that at least from this football era.
If Lewandowski and Erling Haaland were 21, and you get to keep them at your club for 6 years, who are you taking?
Oh wow!
Harry Kane. Who am I taking? I think I'm taking Lewandowski.
21.
Yeah, I'm taking Lewandowski.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's because we've seen him perform for so many years.
The Doffmeister all day long.
But I think Haaland has had a more explosive beginning than Lewandowski, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But then you're coming into a Man City squad that is unbelievable. I'm not saying Haaland isn't unbelievable. I'm not saying Lewandowski hasn't played for an unbelievable, Bayern Munich.
I mean, he has proved his time after time after time.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
It's a tough one, isn't it? It is a very tough one, but they're both phenomenal.
Barcelona won't be happy to know that their top spot in the league has been taken. Just a quick update: Real Madrid are leading 2-0 in the Madrid derby. Second game in the Liga on Saturday. Sento, Valencia, 3-0.
That was, of course, I'm very happy with the score. Who would be happy if the team? Yeah, I'm chuffed. Who would be happy if the team won 3-0, right?
Yeah.
But overall, I'm not that happy with the performance itself. I don't know, like Cavani. This was the first Cavani game with Valencia.
Yeah.
He came out and it was pretty uneventful, to be honest. Like nothing happened. They didn't put him any really good balls either. Like the team wasn't really playing well, at least the first half. Although we did get the first goal. Well, it was us, the only ones who scored. But our first goal was pretty early, like on the 37th minute, something like that. But still, Celta de Vigo had many chances, and most of them because of our mistakes. But yeah, I mean, after that, they got a red card, and this one was because of a pretty dangerous foul on Thierry Correa. Like he went from behind, like full on into the back of the leg,
Wow.
And well, after that, we got a couple more goals, pretty good. Andre Almeida scored his first goal with us. I think they bought him as replacement for Carlos Soler. And yeah, I expect him. We all expect him to do well, but it's gonna be tough. 22-year-old.
Are you excited to have Cavani in your Valencia squad?
I think it gave us a little bit of hope, at least at the beginning of the market when we got it. But like right now, I'm happy he's with us, but he's not all what we need. It's like it's not something like, hey, you have Cavani, all your problems will sort it out. No.
Yeah. He's a phenomenal header of the ball, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone with such a good. It just bounces off his head and goes.
He'd stick his head on a jumbo jet, wouldn't he?
You put his head on a ping pong bat and you win every time.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, so Sunday today, the early kickoff in the Premier League was Brentford Arsenal, and I had hopes Brentford would give them a good game. I had some cheeky feeling. I almost put a bet on saying that Brentford would beat Arsenal today, but I didn't. I refrained from doing it because I thought, this normally happens. I normally get this feeling, and it doesn't happen, and it didn't happen. So I'm glad I didn't put the money on. But 3-0 for Arsenal. They returned to the top of the Premier League away at Brentford, where they were embarrassed on the opening day of the season in August before last. The first goal for young midfielder Vieira, and Granit Xhaka has continued his meteoric return to Arsenal stardom after throwing his shirt off after I think being booed by his own fans, and he told them to F off while storming off the Emirates pitch, which was hilarious. I must say, when that happened, I thought I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. But
the only thing I can compare it to is
as for Rita Balaga.
When I was going to say Wayne Rooney walking off the pitch, camera in face.
England.
Nice to hear your home fans boo you.
That's what Lewis supporters. Yeah. Remember that World Cup was depressing. Anyway, yeah, Arsenal straight back to the top of the Premier League.
Gabby Jesus
playing well. Martinelli, they look good. Arsenal. I hate to say it. And I've been preying on their demise ever since the start of the season. But they look good going into this North London derby. And I think, as we've said, it's promising to be an absolute cracker, isn't it?
I'm just ignorantly...
Are you nervous?
Yeah, of course. But I'm just trying not to think about it. You just gotta be ignorantly confident.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the game.
I'm really hoping for some handbags on the touchline between Arteta and Conte.
The difference between this season and last season is that it's not as close to the end of the season yet. So, any result can be made up later down the line.
Anything can happen. Definitely. And let's see if they can keep up with this. I'm not sure if Arsenal, the thing is, they have a pretty young squad. And young squads usually have that problem. They have a pretty explosive beginning, right? Full of energy and everything. But if things start to go wrong, they just don't have that experience to keep it up,
But they have just bounced back from a Man United loss. If they were going to spiral, it would have been against this Brentford.
If they've played one team from the top 6, haven't they? Man United, and they've lost.
Are they top 6 at the moment?
Well, they're not, but for the sake of argument, and so I think if they play Spurs and they do get beaten convincingly, so Spurs 2-0 or a 3-1 maybe, or Spurs dominate, I think that the worry will start to creep into the Arsenal psyche. That we're not beating the top 6 again. And they're the ones that you're going to be sort of competing for places-wise at come the end of the season. So,
and they're the ones that are all going to start coming at once.
Yeah.
After
the fixtures they've had so far, they've only played Man United, like we said, so they've got the lot. Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea. Yeah,
it's going to be an eventful day. Put it that way.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
They've got Tottenham and Liverpool back to back.
Liverpool at the moment, but Liverpool are still going to offer them a good game, aren't they? But Arsenal also gave a 15-year-old his debut today, Ethan Nwaneri, and I might be absolutely butchering his surname there, but 15 years old,
probably
subbed on for Arsenal, youngest ever player to play in the Premier League, came on today, and apparently he wasn't allowed to get changed with the rest of the team because he was 15. That's how young this lad is. He's going to school in the morning.
There must be an age limit, right, in the Premier League?
Yeah, it must be 15. Surely you can't 15. Go younger than that.
Yeah.
A 14-year-old knocking around with
that's very young. Yeah. I'll be very flattered, though, if they brought me on the pitch on a Premier League game with 15 years old.
And then he's sat at home. A little 15-year-old now is sat at home having just played for Arsenal.
Playing Fortnite.
15, we're all sat at school.
Well, actually 15 is a bit older than that.
Yeah.
Fortnite is a bit younger.
Normal 15-year-olds are drawing penises on science books and Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably why he wasn't allowed in the main changing room.
Right. So, Arsenal back to the top of the league. Everton, Frank Lampard getting an important 3 points in the later sort of afternoon kickoff today. Neil Maupay giving Everton their first league win of the season, beating David Moyes' West Ham. A big result for Frank Lampard, getting one over West Ham. A few handbags at the end too between James Tarkowski and West Ham's new signing Schumacher. I think that's a great result for Everton. West Ham have looked pretty terrible so far this season, I'd say. Compared to last season, maybe sort of the efforts put into Europe has taken its toll now, or the smaller squad size. But they have added some good signings in Lucas Paqueta and Schumacher. So who's to say they won't turn things around? But Everton, great 3 points.
Everton has a pretty good record against West Ham.
Yeah.
Everton have won more Premier League games and has scored more Premier League goals against West Ham than any other opponent in the Premier League. So they have a pretty good record against them.
Oh.
But West Ham. I also have high hopes of West Ham. Like last season, they did pretty well in Europa League and in the league, like both. I don't know. Let's see what they do this year.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Well,
they seem to be very roller coastery at the moment. They perform well some games, and then other games they just don't score against Everton. Everton should be a straightforward win for them. I would have thought.
At the moment,
it's a great result for Lampard.
Yeah, because Everton is still trying to really sort of establish a playing style.
Exactly, and the only critique of West Ham is that they've bought decent players and they haven't settled them in yet, but they still should be winning these types of games.
Yeah. I think Lampard and Gerrard, they were looking sort of not surefire, but definitely on the cards for being sacked. Both getting wins this weekend, looking good going through the international break. So good news.
Brendan Rodgers.
Good news for English managers. Not so good for Northern Irish managers, as you said, Brendan Rodgers. I do think Leicester will stick with him, though. I think they're going to give him another. Yeah, I think he'll get one more go.
It's ridiculous.
One more goal. I mean, if they get relegated, no, obviously.
They've conceded 11 goals in 2 games. They've got 1 point
from 21. 1 point from 21.
Their goal difference is 10. 10 scored, 22 conceded. 22.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And Tuchel got away by a minor little thing over there.
Their only saving grace. Their only saving grace is they got Nottingham Forest next game. They might be able, no, they won't even leapfrog them with a win.
That's how bad it is.
Joint on points, but
that's actually what I think. I think they'll keep Rodgers, give him that game, and if he loses to Nottingham Forest, he's gone. He's gone. So that was it for the Premier League sort of this weekend. La Liga, obviously, today, right now, we've got the Madrid derby going on, which I think is still 2-0.
Looks like Real Madrid was going to win it.
Yeah.
Pretty eventful start. Actually, before the start, of Real Madrid, apparently there were quite a lot of people of Atletico Madrid fans outside before getting to the stadium singing racist stuff against Vinicius.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What's that about? Because Gabriel Jesus celebrated, didn't he? Doing the Vinicius celebration or something like that to show support. Yeah, it's funny. But
apparently, they were singing something like Vinicius fucking monkey or something like that.
Wow.
Like the entire crowd. I saw a video and it was the entire crowd pretty much, like hundreds of people. And and the thing is that this has happened recently all the times with Atletico Madrid fans on the past games. So this is not new. Something's going on over there. They have to look into it.
Yeah,
they have to look into it.
Yeah, I'm sure the club will do all they can to sort that mess out, because that shouldn't be happening in today's day at all. Especially a club like Atletico Madrid, one of the top European clubs. They've got to do something about that for sure.
Well, it happened several times, and nothing much happened.
So on Vinicius though, did he do some sort of racist celebration?
I think he had a little dance.
He dances. He always dances.
He always dances when he scores goals. And like a couple of days back or a day ago, he put it on Twitter or Insta or something like that he was definitely going to dance if he scored against Atletico, something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess they got pissed off with him.
All right.
Yeah.
And then this is where it's all kicked off.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well.
Yeah, that's what Darby says, right?
Yeah.
They're always quite heated.
Yeah, we had a 1-1 draw between Villarreal and Sevilla today. I mean, I would have said that could have been a good game potentially, but 1-1, nothing too exciting there.
Yeah,
Real Sociedad beat Espanyol 2-1. It's a good one. I think that's it for football this weekend. Half time in the Madrid derby. Madrid 2-0 up. Goals from Rodrigo and Federico Valverde. So now, the time we've all been waiting for. Ballbusters.
The one and only Ballbusters.
Well, you guys have been waiting for it, but not me. Not really me. Like I was counting. I have in front of me the seconds of the recording. I was looking at it like it has to be any time now.
Well, here it comes. Here it comes. So,
okay, what is it?
To get everyone warmed up, and just while you're at it, drop the video a like, a comment, and a subscribe. This has been influenced by something quite dear to mine and Sam's heart, which is XFM. Back in the early noughties, if you know, you definitely know. Ballbusters. So how this is going to work? Sam has prepared 3 bullbusters for today. The first one we will use to help explain what it's all about. The second one, Sento is going to try and wrap his Spanish head around. And the third one is going to be sort of teed up for you lot at home listening to this. You can get your hands on a PixelPlayer. It's our first year anniversary. We're celebrating that with a giveaway, a competition, bullbuster competition. If you can get the third one and reply to the tweet, I'll chuck something up on the screen right now that explains all what you have to do to get involved. Simple stuff. Drop us a follow on Twitter, subscribe, and give us your answer to the third bullbuster. But before that, let's rewind. Bullbusters, they're basically riddles where the answer is the name of a team. Okay? So a bit of a riddle, a little bit of a play on words.
Cryptic clue.
Cryptic clue.
Got a cryptic clue, and then I'll give you the initial of the football club as a little bit of support.
Yeah.
May step away from the initials if it gets too easy. We deliberately haven't done too challenging.
I don't know if I can see Sento writing stuff down in a little notepad. Right.
Shit. I'm literally. What the hell is going on, man?
Right, let's give you an example.
This is all new for me. Yeah.
Let's give you the example. So, the first cryptic clue: Little Red Riding Hood hates these, and the initial is W.
So it's a football club.
It's a football club, and Little Red Riding Hood hates these. So the initial is W, and then you've got to guess what football club that is. So the answer,
all right,
as an example,
go on. It's Wolves then.
It's Wolves. It's
all
Wolves.
All right.
So we got the cryptic clue.
I'm not BS horrible. I could have done that without the initial.
So yeah,
I actually completely forgot about
getting confident.
That one, no, yeah, that one, yes. Then now you'll probably give me
take
stuff
the
like
initial away from
League One or regional team that I don't know about. I never.
So this second one, Sento, is for you. It's for you to guess to explain to everyone else. So if you're not in the fake Spanish capital, but the opposite, you're in. And the initials are RM. It's not the fake Spanish capital. RM.
Okay. So I have to think about it, right?
Spanish capital RM.
We're starting off easy. This is going to be a recurring theme in our podcast, so we're starting off easy. I'm sure that might jog a few sort of wind chimes in the head.
So you got that, Sento?
Yeah, Real Madrid.
Yeah, lovely. It's not the
fake capital. Why do you say that? It's because Barcelona is very popular.
No.
That's why I'm saying. Like, this is actually true. Like, a lot of people have actually told me, it's like, oh yeah, Barcelona, the capital of Spain. It's like, no, man.
The Real Madrid. Right. Okay. Now the third and final cryptic.
Now, this is the important one.
This is the important one, and this one's a little bit more difficult than the other ones. So there's a little bit of a play on words, but
yeah. I'll chuck up on the screen again right now what to do to get involved.
So little Johnny opens his lunchbox to see his sandwiches are full of what? And the initial is F. It's a football club, starts with F. Little Johnny opens his lunchbox to see his sandwiches are full of what? Have a guess. Answers next episode for that one.
Yeah.
And then next week we'll have all 3 cryptic clues.
So we got 2 PixelPlayers to give away for that one. So 2 winners. When this podcast goes live, head over to our Twitter. It'll be the pin tweet. Reply with your answer to Little Johnny opens his lunchbox. I might be getting this wrong, so you might have to correct me.
To see his sandwiches are full of what?
Full of what?
F.
F.
Initial F.
So get over to the Twitter and give us your answer, because you could be the latest member to the PixelPlayer Club. And we've got some cracking prizes. Bastian Schweinsteiger and Jean-Pierre Papin from Marseille. 2 players from our upcoming collection. More to come on that. But that's that for the Ball Busters for this week. They'll be back next week. Plenty to come on that one, I'm sure. So enjoy it, Sento. You like the Ball Busters?
I'm actually enjoying it. I like it. We should definitely do more of this.
Yeah, it's going to be happening every week.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're gonna get me like the guy who always has to, obviously, and you're gonna make the very weird ones with very weird teams.
Yeah, definitely. Plenty of opportunity there.
Yeah.
Right. So moving on. Sort of the last thing to do or to chat about this week is just a quick. We're heading into an international break now, so we thought it might be a good time to look back on. In the future, to potentially just chuck out a little prediction for the top 6 in the Premier League and the bottom 3 who we think will be relegated. So, top 6 teams in the Premier League, who's going to finish where? Sento, what do you think?
Oh, you get the foreigner to start?
Does it have to be in order?
Yeah, I think so. I think put it in order. I think we're trying to get you on the spot.
We're trying to get the winner and everything. Okay.
We're trying to get an instinctive response. Yeah, I want the champion. I want 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
All right. I'll start then. As a champion, I think I'm gonna put Man City again.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Don't apologise, mate. Yeah.
I'm saying sorry because I'm actually already quite tired of them winning every single year. I'm actually tired, so you guys should be even more tired. But yeah, sorry. Man City will win the league again. I think 2nd position. I'm going to give it to Spurs actually over Arsenal. I think Arsenal will fluke at some point, like throughout the season. What I was saying, like young players and so on. And so, yeah, I'm going to give 2nd position to Spurs and 3rd position to Arsenal. Now, this 4th position, the last from champions, is going to be quite disputed, in my opinion.
So, third Arsenal, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Third Arsenal.
Yeah. They'll be
4th
happy with
position.
That.
Yeah. 4th position, well, this one I'm really doubting. Like, Liverpool has not been playing well at all.
Yeah, take them out.
But I think, I don't know, could they have a resurgence? I'm not sure. Then Chelsea again, the change of manager to Potter. Potter still has to settle in. He doesn't have the players of his style because it was all made for Tuchel and so on. So tough, that one.
Man United, are they in your...
Yeah, the thing, Man United. Like, I think Man United have picked up compared to at least the end of last season, but I'm not sure. This 4th position is going to be very disputed. I think in the end, it's going to be for Liverpool. I'm going to give it to Liverpool. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think they're going to have a little resurgence. I don't know why. I think Klopp will do his magic and they will climb up slowly but steady to that 4th position.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
5th and 6th?
Yeah, Europa League, I'm going to give it to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I see them in Europa League.
In 5th? Yeah.
And the Conference League.
Well, no, 5th and 6th is Europa League. So,
sorry.
Man United as well?
6th, yeah, 6th. Okay, 6th for Man United, yes.
I mean, all right, go on. We'll chuck a 7th in there. Who's getting Conference?
And 7th, yeah. I think, this is a personal, let's say, bet of mine. But I want to see Fulham there.
Wow.
You've got a personal bet of Fulham to get 7th.
Yeah. I believe in them.
It's a good shout.
I really think from the teams that always go up, at least one of them has to go down. And the 2 that, for me, were going to be the clear candidates, I think, at least for me, we're going to be Fulham and Nottingham Forest. And at least right now, I think it's pretty clear that Nottingham Forest is closer to that. Yeah. And I think I really have that feeling that one of them teams was going to make it far this season. That always happens. Like one of the teams that gets promoted gets it far, and sometimes even gets one of the Europa League's positions and so on. So I'm going to give it to Fulham. I'm going to give it conference victory to Fulham.
Relegation?
I believe Leicester will get a change of manager, and they will they will climb back up, get out of that relegation. I wouldn't like to see them then. So I'm going to believe in that. Nottingham Forest, sadly, I think they will go down by an inch. I think they will be nearly saved.
So you think Nottingham Forest bottom?
18th? No, not 18th for Nottingham
18th.
Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they will be relegated by an inch, like just about. I think this could be the year where we might be seeing Southampton going down.
Really?
What do you think about it?
Well, it's up to you, mate.
Last season they had a shocker during the season, and they were in the relegation zone for a while, and they got saved. But I don't know. And I don't know. I don't want it to say Leicester. I mean, my head is telling me Leicester, but my heart is saying don't relegate Leicester. Pull Leicester. But why not? Let's chuck that Leicester.
Wow, Leicester.
Yeah.
That is a controversial bottom three.
So Nottingham Forest, Southampton, Leicester. Yeah.
I know. I wanted to do this a little bit spicy too. Not the typical I'm gonna relegate, for Brentford.
What do you reckon then, Sam? What do you reckon?
Man City to win it.
Yeah.
Man City look out of this league. They look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna say Tottenham.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to throw a spanner in the works and say Chelsea third.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal are going to have a catastrophic fall when they have these tough games. But, we're still very early on and who knows. And I sort of want that to happen, so a little bit biased.
Yeah.
Arsenal fourth.
Yeah.
Don't think they'll slip much further than that. Man United fifth. I think they'll sort of settle in to their winning streak, but they won't do amazing. And I think it's too late for Liverpool to do anything magical. I mean, I know they've got loads of players out, but I think they'll miss out. I think they'll be sixth.
Wow. Cheeky seventh?
Cheeky seventh. That's a tough one. I mean, it could be anyone.
The Almighty Conference League.
Was it last season that between something like 7th and 12th there was only like 3 points in it towards the last couple of games? It was ridiculous.
Well, not this year because Fulham is going to get it.
Fulham are going to be a point off fifth, are they?
Of course.
Third, sixth, yeah. Who's finishing 7th? Maybe Newcastle.
Yeah.
If they're, if they don't perform too well and we get into the winter, they'll just go buying again, won't they?
Well, not a bad shout.
Cristiano
Bottom three.
Ronaldo. Bottom three. Leicester. Leicester are going to come out of it. They got a phenomenal squad. I mean, I know they played against Spurs and they struggled a bit, but I mean, their moments of magic up front are still there.
Yeah.
So I can't see Leicester going down. Nottingham Forest, definitely. I'm saying
Nottingham
Forest.
I think you have the same problem with me. With your head is actually telling. Okay, the numbers are clearly telling you he's going to go down, but the eye is saying, "Oh, come on, he went against all the odds, won the Premier League. I don't want them down."
They look too good, Sento. I mean, when you got like James Maddison up front pinging some unbelievable balls, unbelievable chances. You don't see that from Nottingham Forest. So I'd say Nottingham Forest going down. Bournemouth.
Yeah.
They've been on the receiving end of a few heavy defeats. Maybe Crystal Palace.
Vieira's Palace.
Maybe Crystal Palace. That's going to be the controversial 18th. I think 18th is going to be tight. I can see Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest being bottom of the pack, but
for me, I must say I was going to put Crystal Palace instead of Liverpool. Sorry, Southampton. sorry, Liverpool. Sorry, Liverpool fans. I'm in Southampton. But I don't know why I always loved Crystal Palace. I don't know. They always had
I
something.
do too.
I think it's because when I was a kid and I played FIFA, I just loved the bench, with the eagle and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's why. I don't want it to relegate them. That's why I chose controversial Southampton. Why not?
Yeah. Well, I've been writing these down, by the way, so we'll come back to these in the
Oh God.
not too distant future or whenever things become interesting. So for myself, yeah, Man City first. That's a given. Second, I'm going to go Spurs. I think they've got quite a solid squad. I think Conte sort of gets the best out of his players. It's interesting to see whether they'll win a trophy outside of sort of the league, because it's not looking like the Premier League's up for grabs anymore. Man City looks so good that you have to start turning your head to other competitions if you think you're going to win a silverware. So it's going to be interesting whether second place is, can Spurs take second and feel like they can push on next year? Who knows? Man City do look potentially too good. Third place, I think Arsenal. Arsenal look stable, confident. Arteta's been given responsibility of sort of trimming the team down with players who want to be there. He's got rid of ones that don't want to be there, so he's got quite a good atmosphere around the place. I think the work that he's put in is starting to sort of pay off. And I think Arsenal will do it. I think they'll get third. I think they'll be really happy with that. Again, will they win a trophy? Outside of it, I don't think they will. I think Arsenal's squad. Do you know what? The thing that could really derail Arsenal is the injuries. If they get an injury to Gabriel Jesus or sort of Odegaard stays out on a prolonged period. But then again, I say Odegaard, Vieira's just come in today, Fabio Vieira, and he scored. So who knows? Fourth, Chelsea. I've got to back Chelsea, haven't I? I've got to back Graham Potter and his pot smoking blues. I think Graham Potter's going to get the message through to the players. Might take some time, but yeah, I feel like it will be positive. I feel like there's also news coming out today that Christoph Freund, the Red Bull Salzburg technical director, is probably going to be joining Chelsea. So Todd Boehly's really sort of putting things in place. I think Graham Potter's going to sort of enjoy working in this sort of new setup. Things are all very shiny, exciting. So yeah, I think fourth for Chelsea. Fifth, I'm going to go with Man United. I think Man United for fifth. I think Ten Hag will steady the ship. And I think Liverpool, there's something going on at Liverpool. The midfield don't look good. I'm not sure if they'll be able to get any play. I mean, I'm interested to see how January transfer window will transpire this year because of the World Cup. Will it have an effect on the January transfer window? Will there be less likely of a chance players are going to want to move, especially top players? Because there's a lot to be thinking about if you're planning on moving in January and you've got a World Cup and things like that. So I think Liverpool are going to be sixth. I think Jurgen Klopp will be given another season to rebuild over the summer. Who knows if Liverpool don't sort of hit the ground running next year, maybe we'll get the boot. Seventh, cheeky seventh. I think I'm going to have to back. I think Newcastle. I'm going to go the same as Sam. I think I'm going to go with Newcastle. Alexander Isak, Bruno Guimaraes in the middle. I really like that Bruno, by the way, for Newcastle in midfield. I think he's a great player.
They're building their squad nicely, aren't they?
They are. They're taking their time. Patience.
As expected, though.
Taking their time because of fair play, I guess.
Potentially, yeah. Potentially trying to stay on the
They're being
radar.
quite intelligent. They're quite intelligent. Like Isaac, great pick in my opinion. Great.
I agree.
Yeah. And bottom three for me: Forest, Bournemouth, and finally, Villa. I'm tempted to say Villa. Villa just came out of my mouth. I didn't have a filter on that. Yeah. Villa just came out.
Villa.
I was looking at Villa. I mean, yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, I've gone Villa.
They all, every other club, I'd say. I mean, this sounds quite harsh to Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, but other than Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, every other club looks like a Premier League solid squad.
What about Brentford?
Yeah, Brentford possibly. You could arguably say Brentford are the third one in the pie, but especially after the performance against Arsenal. But they may stay up.
Oh.
Sitting quite healthy at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think that just about concludes this episode. We've got an international break coming up, which is absolute snooze fest. England play Italy and Germany, which it could be good games in the Nation Leagues, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested in any international football unless it's a World Cup or Euros. I don't know why we're doing it now.
No. Nations League is very interesting, mate.
Really? You think so?
No, not really, to be honest.
I mean, Spain plays Switzerland and Portugal.
Yeah. Portugal, actually, Switzerland should be pretty interesting too. They have a decent team, Switzerland.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if it's useful right now to have an international break.
Probably quite exciting for Italy,
Well, they're not going to the World Cup, are they? So,
That's what I mean.
They're chuffed, yeah.
They're going to have
holiday with the boys, isn't it? A holiday with the boys for them.
Oh man, isn't this like the third time in a row? Something they don't get into it.
It's mental. Well, they missed the last one, didn't they? They missed the last one.
Didn't they miss the last two? No, not the last two, right? Just one.
But they missed the last one. They missed this one. But in between, they got a European Championship.
Yeah, it's weird.
Right?
It's very weird. Yeah, like what the hell, man? You don't even qualify for World Cup, and you just won the Euro Cup.
That is Italy all over, though, isn't it? Because they won the World Cup in 2006, and I think they got knocked out in the group stages in 2010 when Spain won it. And then you're right, the next one after 2010, 2014, I don't think they even qualified for it. So, ridiculous. Yeah. But, Fantasy League, also, if you want to join the Fantasy League, you can either be bothered to scroll through our tweets and find the code, or get in touch, give us one of us a tweet, and we'll give you the code to get in. Might even send out a tweet this week just to remind people with the code. At the top at the moment, Abiola Usman, 456 points.
He's storming ahead with that Haaland captaincy and Gabi Jesus.
He is
unbelievable.
But yeah, he's doing well. I'm 22nd, so mid-table for me.
I'm 24th.
24th,
and where is Sento? You're 35th out of 41.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm not doing that one.
Well, you've come off a phenomenal week, Sento. You've got Heung-min Son as your captain.
38 points, but you've got about 4 players who aren't playing. So.
Heung-min Son as your captain gives you half of your points, over half of your points.
Yeah, because the other half aren't playing.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't the other half injured? That's right.
No, it's all of the games that have been postponed. I've done the same mistake and forgot to substitute some of them out, which is just annoying, but we'll have to get over it. Anyway, been a pleasure. We'll be back next week for the next episode. Like the video, comment on the video. If you do comment, we might just get back to you. Who knows? Subscribe.
Comment your ball busters as well.
Get in with your ball busters. I'll chuck out again right now the competition to get your hands on a PixelPlayer, joining on the movement. Lots of exciting things happening. We don't even get enough time to explain a fraction of what's going on with PixelPlayers. So again, any questions with that, get in touch. Or website coming out soon. That'll carry more information. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Give us a tweet. Follow us on Twitter.
See you next time.
See you next week.
Pleasure.
See you later.